Howdy everyone, it's Sam. Welcome back to the Wobble Enjoy Sports channel. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider to like the content and subscribe to the channel. But if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. The second week of the preseason challenge is upon us, and the North Queensland Cowboys travel down to Queanbeyan to play the Raiders. Before I get into the match preview, I do want to just give my thoughts on what occurred in week one. The Cowboys going down 46 points to 20 up there in Mackay at BB Prince Stadium, and it's not an overly shocking result. 46 points is definitely not desirable and definitely an area of an improvement, sure thing. But when pretty much our B to C string side are going up against pretty much an A string side in the Brisbane Broncos, that's probably going to happen. I thought Semi Valame was the man of the match for the North Queensland Cowboys. It's not just his try involvements or his tackle busts and line breaks. It was his defence at times as well that I thought that catapulted Semi Valame into man of the match status for me. Tom Chester, I think he was so damn dynamic and was a very timely reminder to everybody of how good he can be or is. And Tom Chester is going to be very hard to leave out of the Cowboys 17 in 2024. So I think someone like a Jake Granville, with all due respect, must be looking over his shoulder at Tom Chester coming up big time. A couple of other notable players I want to make mention of. I thought Sam McIntyre worked his ass off. He was either passing the ball or he was hitting the line up with a gusto. I thought Sam McIntyre had a great hit out in that first week. I think young Jackson Purdue, who played at fullback, and I believe it was the first time he ever played at fullback, made a real fist of it, man, and showed us his speed in the final play of the game with a 90-metre effort. Kulikefu Fenefuiaki is a menace. He is an absolute terrorizer. Thank goodness he's with us, and hopefully he sticks with us. And under 19's Queensland representative, Will Sullivan, jersey 15, he's a front row edge forward, still working out his body type. I think he looks like a likely prospect in the future, man. I really like some of the work that he did at such a young age of 19. For some of the carries that he took into the meat of that Broncos pack, much respect to him, man. And just from what I remember, what he did in that Origin under 19's contest last season, I think there's something there with Will Sullivan, bro. So keep an eye on him, or I definitely will be. For a team that got flogged by 46 to 20, they definitely stayed in the contest for about 60 minutes there. Collectively, I would suggest. That's probably being a little bit generous. It's just that our halves, our start to either half, really kicked us in the bum. It really did. Especially that second half where Reece Walsh just absolutely turned it on. That's the first string side coming up against a good chunk of our C string side. And I think the Cowboys did really good to stick with them for about 40 or 50 minutes there. And then Reece Walsh just hit the afterburners. So good hit out. More positives to take out of it than negatives, I would say. Or maybe it's just a 50-50. Put it this way, we might be sitting second or third last on the preseason challenge ladder. I know, who cares, right? But I don't think we were the most disappointing team of the weekend, to be perfectly fair with you. Also, ball control, when every other game was absolutely hapless in regards to ball control, I think we were one of the better performing teams, and that's what they were doing. That's what the Cowboys were doing in 2022, which sent us to the prelims. So, fingers crossed. With all that out of the way, let's get stuck into the week 2 preseason challenge game, which sees the Canberra Raiders versus the North Queensland Cowboys from Seaford Oval in Queanbeyan this Sunday, 2 p.m. Queensland, 3 p.m. New South Wales. On Sportsbet, the Cowboys are coming into the game as the favourites. The Raiders are sitting at approximately $2.30 outsiders. And this is the first ever game at Seaford Oval for the North Queensland Cowboys. And since the year 2009, the Raiders have played 6 trial matches at the venue. They have not won at the venue since 2009. So how long is that? That's approximately 15 years since they last won at Seaford Oval, and they've had 5 trial games at the venue in between 2009 and this year. There has been a trial game played between the Cowboys and Raiders, but that was somewhere in the early 2010s, and the Cowboys did defeat the Raiders on that occasion. Let's go into the team list now, and I'm going to start with the away side, obviously, the Cowboys. And I'm anticipating a pretty damn good, strong side being brought down to Queanbeyan this weekend. At fullback is Drinkwater. The wingers are Taulangi and Felt. The centres are Holmes and Leibart. Dearden and Townsend are the halves combination. That's pretty much what round 1 is going to look like. That's exciting. Moving into the forward pack now, McLean, Robson and Taumalolo will wear jersey number 10. Hylam Lukey, Nanai and Cotter are the back row. Cotter with the number 13 on his back. And interchange is Granville, Neem, Hess and Sam McIntyre. Todd Payton has named 23 players, and they're all players that participated in week 1. McKaylee, Chester, Valame, Finafuiaki, Gajewski, and Jake Clifford with 23 on his back. Moving into the Canberra Raiders now, and Albert Hopewati with jersey number 1 on his back. I wouldn't imagine that someone like a Jordan Rapana is going to be fullback this year in 2024. Someone new is going to take that spot, and I'm glad that Hopewati has a first crack at solidifying a first grade position in 2024. I think he's really underrated, and he had a fantastic back into 2022 and early part of 2023. The wingers for the Raiders this weekend are Utoloa, Osamoa and Xavier Savage. The centres, Timoko and James Schiller. Schiller is X Factor. I really like Schiller, and he's just sort of struggled to find his way into first grade a bit, maybe just because he is so young and Ricky Stewart is just buying his time. But I really like James Schiller, man. He can do some wild things. In the halves pairing is Weeks and Ethan Strange, so no sign yet of Jamal Fogarty. I don't know if he's under an injury cloud. The forward pack, Josh Papali'i, Danny Levi and Emre Gula. At the back row, Hudson Young, Elliot Whitehead and Morgan Smithies. I believe he is the English import from Wigan, if I'm not mistaken. The interchange, Starling, Totrich, Trey Mooney and Jed Stewart. And looking into the reserves now, there's a absolute plethora of them. All 27 to 28 players have been named. That's available to select for the Canberra Raiders. So we're going from Zach Hosking to Adam Mariota. Zach Wolford has been named, but I mean, he did suffer a concussion the week before. But primarily, Chevy Stewart has been named with jersey number 18 on his back. Sam McIntyre is a pretty big inclusion in jersey number 17. I think maybe that is suggesting that he is going to be part of the 17 a lot for his utility value. Yes, he is a smaller body, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't carry the ball, cut the ball up like a forward, like a prop can. And he does, bro. Sam McIntyre absolutely does. He's just got a little bit of agility in his game, man. A bit of bull terrier about him too. But I mean, everyone's going to get a crack here for the Cowboys team. The first 40 minutes, that's going to be 1 to 13, and then it's just going to swap out, basically. So that first 40 minutes, though, that is the Cowboys lineup I am anticipating for round 1. Interesting that also Taumalolo has been named with jersey number 10 on his back. So maybe that is the official transition period from lock to starting prop for Taumalolo. Maybe he has relinquished that jersey 13. And also it's going to be like the unofficial official debut of Dearden and Ruben Cotter as our co-captains this weekend. Not forevermore, but for a really, really long time, hopefully. So yeah, I'm super excited, keen to see how the 1 to 17 play, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be catching a flight at like 6 o'clock in the morning, absolutely praying that the rain or like engine failure doesn't happen to the plane or anything like that. Hopefully I can get down there. Should be all good. But yeah, I'll be down there at Seaford Oval to see the Cowboys play at Seaford Oval for the first time in their club's history, and hopefully they walk away with a W. If not, it's just a pre-season challenge, isn't it? Thank you very much for the continued support, guys. Hope you enjoyed the talk. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Take care. Adios.